The following podcast contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion advised.
And although we joke, if you or someone you know is affected by or a victim of domestic violence, dial 1-800-799-7233 or visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline's website, thehotline.org.
But it's always the husband, it's always the husband, it's always the husband. I don't keep bed.
Hi, everybody. It's Sarah.
And this is Megan.
You're listening to It's Always the Husband podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
You had a spring break.
I
didn't
did.
You traveled somewhere.
You damn right I did.
How was it?
It was amazing. I went to Puerto Vallarta.
What?
It is, I think, maybe my favorite city in Mexico. It's like my favorite travel destination. It's really hot, which is like, I like it.
Yeah.
But it's breezy because it's the mountains. So it doesn't feel super hot. And I like there's ocean, there's mountains, it's just like beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah.
I've only been to Tijuana as a teen where the bathroom was, you walked outside the door and it was the alley.
Oh.
So
I'm
not as
sorry.
nice. So I've been nowhere. I didn't travel anywhere, but I got a lot done.
What did you get done?
I cleaned out closets.
Name it. Name the things you got done. You cleaned out your closets.
I did. The one under the stairs that everyone shoved shit into.
Yes. That
Took
feels,
it all out, bought new bins, reorganized everything.
That
So
feels
now I
so
have
good.
tons more room to put shit in
other
there if
shit.
I had it.
Yeah.
And got rid of 9 bags of clothes.
No,
So I used to have
Sarah.
to pack winter clothes away and summer clothes and all that.
Uh-huh.
Now they all fit in to a closet.
I am so proud of
know.
you.
And cleaned my floors and dusted and stuff that was disgusting.
Oh,
and
God.
all that stuff that I just don't get done because I come home. You have to do this guy, right?
I can't. I tried to do
Or
him.
this
Sorry, you guys, my microphone is
one.
malfunctioning.
Twist it here.
I'm trying,
Oh.
and it just keeps drooping, and then my head goes
Oh.
down.
No, the other way.
There. No, here
Oh.
we go. I was trying to twist it this way. It
Oh.
wouldn't even go anymore. Okay, sorry. Cut this part out. How boring for our listeners. They're listening to me
Yeah.
just spaz out about it. Okay. Yep, I went to Puerto Vallarta.
Nice.
I loved it. And you cleaned out your closets. And
exciting.
exciting times. Eloise, Rory had influenza B.
Sure.
He was
the
diagnosed
worst.
with it on the Wednesday before we left. So he was feeling fine. And we left, and then we got on the plane, and, Eloise was jacked, ready to go. And she slept the whole way on the plane.
Oh,
which
that's
I
not
thought,
like her.
No, it's not like her at all, which was really weird. And we got in, and we went out to dinner, and she was just like, okay, I'm ready to go home now. Are we going back to the room? And I was like,
Oh.
what? And sure enough, she had a fever. So she
Oh.
too got the influenza. And then Phil.
Well, I mean, do you really mind that Phil got it?
What I did laugh about was he's so annoying to vacation with because he does not sit down.
Yeah, he likes to go.
So he's like, who wants to go to the beach? And
Oh.
we're like, no one wants to go there. We're here at the pool. There's full service bar. There's a swim up pool bar. I can see the beach and the ocean from here. I'm fine.
Can he just walk over there himself?
He did several times,
Yeah.
but he just wanted,
Oh,
someone to go with him all the time.
Well,
and I was like, God,
suppose.
they're so annoying.
Did
But
he have
so-
one of those box jellyfish bite him on the wing?
He didn't, but he found a dick fish.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I'll have him send me the picture and we'll
Oh,
post it.
yeah.
It was legitimate, one of those.
Oh, those schlong
Wiener
ones?
schlongs.
Oh, my goodness.
Rory was like, what the hell?
He didn't know. If he didn't know what it was. Cripes.
Yeah.
Well, how fun. Yeah, I kind of was jealous of everyone's pictures. all the people that were going to all sorts of tropical islands.
know.
And I thought, where's everybody got this cash? I sure don't.
I was lucky because my mom and dad have a timeshare, so I didn't have to pay for my lodging.
Yeah.
I mean, we would never be able to go.
I know.
If I had to pay for 7 days of a hotel, no way. No way.
I know. How's everyone else doing it? Going to other tropical islands.
I guess they make way more money than we do.
Shit.
And when I say way, I mean way.
Clearly.
More
I'm
money.
sitting here in my own filth.
Yeah.
Anywho, I guess you had a pretty good week. I just... Whatever. Did you have a glitter in your shitters?
I sure did. I'm excited for this one too. So I ordered these pants off of Amazon. I was looking, one of my good friends is getting married the end of May. So I was looking for dresses and I ordered like 1,000 Amazon dresses,
and then you try them on. I do that.
I know.
And I try
and
them
then
on. I'm like,
tried
how
them
come
on. Yep.
I look like this
Sausage.
hideous troll monster
Yeah.
and no one told me? Is this what I look like?
Yeah.
Is what?
I put one on that I thought was going to be really cute too and like sexy. And Phil was like, well, it's just black. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll send it back. I looked like a sausage in it. And yeah, everything either it's a grandma or a sausage.
Yes, there's
so
nothing.
I don't know. But anyway, somehow then I started getting all these advertisements for wedding, dresses to wear to weddings. And
Yep.
somewhere in there, I found these pants that were supposed to be for like travel.
Oh, like they're not
Pants,
wrinkly and shit?
Yeah, they're supposed to be super comfortable. You can wear them for dressy or for cash, and they're just like supposed to be, what you don't wear or what you wear when you don't want to wear leggings, but you do want to wear leggings.
Oh,
so like,
yes.
it's like to
Yeah.
elevate your legging game or whatever. So I ordered these. They are legit. I sent you a picture of them
I
so you can
saw.
post it. I think the brand is Ododos.
Oh.
Ododos. It's ODODOS. What the fuck is that?
That's a pretend brand.
That's pretend, but they're called soft wide leg pants.
soft wide load pants.
Yes, wide load. There's a giant sign on your ass.
They look super
and
comfortable and cute. Like you could wear them as just a casual pant or to a
correct.
nice
you can wear them
thing.
to work.
Yeah.
Yes, they look cute with tennis shoes. They look cute with grandma orthotics,
Yeah.
and they look cute with
Your Thelma Harper.
yes, with Thelma Harper's, and they look
They
cute
look
with
super
sandals.
cute.
They're soft, wide leg pants. They have a pocket. They kind of have a high waist. I think they're adorable. I wore them to work one day before I left, and all the kids were like, "Oh my god, those are the cutest pants!" So I love them. Then I wore them on the plane. They were
Nice.
like soft as silk. But everybody should get them. They come in 3 different lengths, so you can, if you're short, tall. I got the longest ones. I think 31 inseam
Oh.
is the longest. I don't know if that's long enough for you. You have really long legs.
I think that's fine. I don't know.
Yeah. Try them out. I loved them. I love them.
They look cute.
They're like my new favorite
Yeah.
pants, and they come in all sorts of colors, so I'm going to get a whole bunch more.
No kidding.
What's yours?
Mine is a TV show. Before it was 1923. I highly suggest you just watch season 1 and give it a pass, because season 2, they just like Yellowstone ending, it shanks you right in the cunt.
No.
And the finale of 1923, which was this weekend.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen it, you're trying to see it. I mean, some people.
I was really going to start watching it.
The first season I really liked.
Okay.
And then you're kind of excited for the second season, which
Yeah.
took 2 years, I guess. But I jumped in at the end, like Yellowstone. And then the second season is like, what the hell?
This is the one with Harrison Ford, right?
Yes.
And what's her name? Helen Mirren?
Yes.
Okay.
with the finale, it's just the whole time I was like, are you shitting me?
No.
Are you fucking shitting me? Anyway, but
Sorry.
I know. You get disappointed with the Game of Thrones ending, and it hurts when they just really shank you up the
does
poop
hurt.
chute with a pine cone instead of people just want a story where people have some sort of a happy semblance of an ending in these times.
And there was nothing.
No.
Mm.
Well, maybe in some kind of way, but not much.
Yeah. And you don't know. I mean, that's kind of the thing with finales, though, right? Like, you don't know what you really want sometimes.
Yeah, but
It seems like whatever you get, it just isn't right.
well, this wasn't.
It wasn't even close
Well,
to right.
no, there could have been another. I mean, part of it was, and part of it was just
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Anyway, that's not the show. The show is called The Pit on HBO. I started watching that.
Is that the medicine
That
one?
is the medicine one with Noah Wiley, who was Dr. Carter on ER, and now he's another doctor, but old because he's our age. Or older. It's so good. If you watch the first episode, you will have to continue watching.
Okay.
And I was like, I watched ER, but it
Yep.
scarred me permanently. It was so
Yeah,
scarring
me
at the
too.
time. This is 30 years later of scar, with on HBO. So you can imagine you cannot
Oh,
have a
God.
weak stomach because
No.
it's incredibly gory.
Oh, I wouldn't like it.
I mean, it's operations and injuries
Yeah.
coming into this ER that are extremely gory. But every character is so good. And every episode is so good. And it just takes place in one day. Like every episode is 1 hour, like 24. So it's one shift.
Oh, God.
So like episode 1 is the first hour. Episode 2 is like
So it is
7
like
to
24.
8.
Yeah. Okay.
Episode 2 is from 8 to 9. So you get to know even like the people in the ER that are
Right.
in there with injuries. Like they're in there for a few
Uh-huh.
hours.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really good. And you fall in love with Noah Wiley all over again. It was Dr. Carter that you
I
loved.
was going to say I've seen some
Yeah.
advertisements. He is more handsome to me now than he was
Yeah.
in ER.
And every
Why
character.
do men get that?
Of course.
Why do they get to be more handsome?
Because they get more because women, I feel like, are attracted more to a rugged, handsomely
And we
testosterone instead of a baby face man. And women just turn into old, shitty purse bags of shit.
witches.
Yeah. Oh, nobody gets a boner for a shitty troll.
No, they don't.
I don't know. Maybe it's someone's kink. Should I have a shitty troll OnlyFans?
I've never
Come sign
heard
that.
of it, but okay.
It has to be someone's kink.
God
I don't know.
damn.
But yeah, it's so good. It's really, really, really good.
Okay, well, I don't have HBO.
I didn't
so-
either. I just got it because I thought Jamie would want to watch the basketball March Madness, and it was
Oh.
on HBO
It was?
and Paramount Plus. But then you have to have Sling and CBS, and so I thought I tried. I don't know.
Did
But
he
then
even care about it anyway?
He did. He tried to watch it, and then every streaming I tried to get for it was like on the other. And he was even going to watch the women's ones, and we couldn't.
Yeah.
because it was on Sling, and I don't have that now. I don't know, but we watched it at school. We're at Deodorant Factory.
Right.
We watched a few games on it was on HBO.
Uh-huh.
It's really good. The Pit and White Lotus. I haven't started yet, but I've heard is very good.
I heard it might be a little too kinky for me.
Yeah, because you're a prude,
Because it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah.
I don't know because I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Yeah, The Pit is gory, but there's not any. Well, there are some dicks and boobs, but it's in the process
I
of an
don't care
operation.
about dicks and boobs. It's just like, I don't know. Something's...
You don't like that filthy, kinky stuff.
Yeah, I don't...
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that, obviously. Anywho, that doesn't bother me.
I just like to think about Jesus.
Nope. That would turn me
sorry.
off. Jesus, get the remote. I'm done.
I'm just joking, everyone. Okay. We
We do have our social media, Facebook Funny. And
Yeah.
if we got a wonderful review, if you could review us and rate us when you listen, that helps, again, get us attention. Share our podcast. Take the little share button. We do that with podcasts we like and send it to your text group or whatever and say, listen to this.
Listen
that
to
helps
these
share.
huge whores. They
Yeah.
actually are going to talk about a murder eventually.
We
but
will. Get to
first, they're going to talk about their explosive diarrhea and our Facebook Funny. We have a group. Join it. It's called It's Always the Husband Podcast Group. We let you in, and then people post just
Yeah, Jamie even was
insane
talking
shit.
about something, and he said, and it looks like a dick. It's something that you and your group would have on there. And I went, oh. So I'm like, oh, I wanted to say, so you pay
Yep.
attention even though you
He
pretend
does, yes.
that you don't.
Yeah.
Just pay attention.
even though he didn't know why you were having a hot flash.
No, he said yesterday, why do you look all flushed? And I was like, what in the hell do you think's been happening to me for 8 years? I'm flushed. It's called perimenopause, and I've been suffering through constantly looking flushed. This has been my 24/7. Why do you think I wear nothing now when I used to be cold forever? And I have to have the windows open at night in the middle of the winter?
I know.
God damn it.
I
But at least he
know.
looked at my face, obviously,
Well,
for the
that
first
was
time in
nice
8 years.
of him.
Yeah. It wasn't to see him attractive. It was, my God, do you look like that?
You
You
choking?
shitty face.
God.
But I picked Sarah Dorner's funny. It was
Okay.
the old teacher meme where it says, it has a textbook page and it says, students turn to page 10. And then it says, when this is page 10. And it's
Oh my
like
God,
a picture.
yes. Yep.
And this one was the Pharaoh, but the Pharaoh has, you know,
Yes.
a unibrow
Yes.
and a mustache and big
Yes.
dicks drawn all over it.
Yep.
Because every time you say, look at your textbook, there are dicks everywhere. Every time
Just
you
in-
sit down, there are dicks all
in
over
a
the desk.
school in general. You go to the bathroom, there's dicks. You
There-
go to eat your lunch,
There was one of my
dicks.
higher ups had to come into my deodorant room and ask for cleaning supplies because dicks had to be erased from the wall somewhere. I went, well, we should just have this be called Dick Eraser and just have Dick Eraser in every room. That's all it does is
Exactly.
erase dicks from everything.
Yes.
So that made me laugh because it's just my everyday.
That's
You
true.
sit down and someone says, excuse me, but there's something drawn on that's not very appropriate on my desk. Oh, I'm coming. Or here's a Clorox wipe.
I hate it when they carve it
Oh,
in,
yeah.
and then you can never, ever get it
Nope.
off. Oh, people are dumb. All right. Mine was, I don't know why. I think this felt scandalous to me, but Shannon Jensen posted Steve Irwin's small baby child, Robert, was wearing nothing but his underwear and a giant snake.
How old? I mean, was the snake a snake or is the snake
It
bulged?
was an actual snake, but
How
also
old is
he
the boy
had a-
now? He's an adult boy, or is he like 15?
No, I feel like he's probably an adult, but it made me.
Bindi, that's her name. Booby and Bondi and Bindi, the sister.
His name is Bob.
Yeah.
Robert.
Bob and Bindi.
Bob
Or
and
Bondi.
Bindi.
Bindi.
And and Bindy, Bondo. He was wearing underwear, and he wears it well.
He's an
But is
outdoors
that-
guy.
Is that bad of me? How
Well-
old is he? Let's look it up. Robert Irwin. It sounds like he should be 55
He does with that name.
with that name.
He's
but-
getting his ARP magazine.
yeah. Oh no, you guys, he's only 21.
He's an adult. He can stare at his
Oh,
bulge.
that's disgusting.
He can drink. It's not like he's 1-2.
Uh,
he's 2-1.
He's 21
Oh,
and
he's-
he is wearing a snake and some underwear. And he has a 6-pack or maybe even a 9 or 12
Well, I feel like
pack.
he's strong. He's lifting around a lot of
Holy shit.
animal feed or something all day.
He is. What in the
Well, is he-
world, Robert?
Bindi's a mom.
Yeah.
Time goes by.
Yeah, I guess. It sure does.
It's been a long time since Bindi was in her mom's tummy and the mom was climbing some sort
Yeah.
of cliff with Steve
Yeah.
as he's getting bitten by snakes, and she's like, oh,
Oh, no.
like, I'm not sure this was wise of me as 9 months pregnant to climb this snake cliff with you for this TV show.
and everyone at home is like, what are you
I
doing?
remember watching that. Like,
Terry!
why is Terry
Yeah.
pregnant to the nines climbing a cliff, a snake-filled cliff behind her husband going, yeah, I think I'm out.
I know.
And he was just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
He was a crazy
Even
fucker,
she,
that guy.
that moment, she was like,
I think she did
I think I'm
feel
going to sit
like-
the next one out.
Maybe I should stay home.
Oh.
She's
but we
balls
do-
to the wall, though.
Yeah. We
Right
do have a
on,
new
Terry.
Patreon.
We do?
Heather Caputo.
Oh, thanks,
That's
Heather.
very cute. Thank you so much. You'll get some episodes there and stuff on Patreon for our people that subscribe there.
And we got a lovely, lovely gift from Wendy.
From Canada.
Kayla. Oh, Canada.
wonderful. Full of Canadian treats and a game for Randy.
I keep eating the treats even though I'm supposed to be talking in my microphone. I'm so sorry. It's rude, but I really like treats. So
Thank you.
Wendy.
We are just so happy with the lovely, kind note that made my day.
It was so
I know.
beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we actually should
Oh,
start
okay,
this
let's
fucking
talk about-
tale. This was a doozy.
I laughed out loud.
I had moments where I thought, oh my.
Oh, my is right.
So the show is Deadly Sins, and this one comes in 2 parts. So it's kind of like a Susan Lucci that has 2 stories too.
Right.
So we watched season 6, episode 1. I didn't realize there were so many of these suckers because these are really, the acting is over the top, which I enjoy.
Right.
And the budget is just enough that it's subpar but looks okay because the wardrobe was just not great and reused in every scene.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they needed a lot of wardrobe, but they purposely, I think, filmed things so that they didn't need a
Exactly.
wardrobe. Yeah.
So this episode was called Conspiracy of Sinners, and it's story number 2. And we're going all the way back to 1989, which might make sense for some of the wardrobe choices, but I still think there's no excuse for some of them.
The first shot of the woman actor, I thought, this is not 89. Her
No.
bangs weren't even big at all.
No, she
but it was
looks
like their clothes were really bad, but all their hair looked current.
The current hair was current. They didn't
So
even
I
try
was
with the hair.
disappointed,
No,
'cause
or
they-
the makeup.
No, they could have done so much
Yes.
more
They could have really gone 80s and they didn't.
with
But
1989.
we're in Houston, Texas, and they could have gone full Texas. And they
Oh my
didn't.
God, can you imagine?
And we're meeting Carol O'Keefe. And I always kind of want to say O'Keefe, but I
Why?
didn't.
Why would you want to?
And we're at a hospital because she just gets a kick-ass job. She's assistant head nurse of like the plastic surgery and surgery division.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great job and especially good for her because she's a single mother of 2 kids and she just bought herself as a single mother a home, her own home that's 3 bedrooms and in a really nice suburb. And when you're a single mom, that's a prize. That's kick ass to have a bedroom for all your kids and not have to sleep in a bed with your fucking kid.
Yeah. Been there.
Exactly. But this is where I said, say what? And I said, shit, bitch. This bitch has been married how many times?
Was it 5?
5 times.
Yeah.
This bitch has been married as many times as we have been married.
Oh my God,
yes! We are 2, though, instead of just 1.
Together.
This bitch has been married 5 times.
So I'm wondering, did she get alimony or something, and then she was like really smart with it and saved it, and then
But
bought
then,
herself
if
a
she would have
house?
gotten alimony from the first one, it would have ended after the second one. And when she got married to the second one, and then the third one, and so unless the 5th was paying something,
She believed in love. She just even though the rest of us would have been like, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah.
I don't need any.
But you know what?
man,
Liz Taylor
but-
did it, and Liz
I
Taylor
know.
was an icon. So now what she does is she gets the men's name, and it might be husbands, and it might actually be also other boyfriends tattooed all over her body. So she looks like a sports team roster all over her tits and her arms because she got so many men's names tattooed all over her body. And they show her talking to another male nurse.
Scene is so fucking funny.
And she's showing all her male name tattoos all over her tits and arms. And the male nurse has male names tattooed on his body.
On his neck.
Steve. I was like, go for it with Steve. But you have a huge Steve written all over your neck, sir. And it's 1989 Texas. You are brave. What's going on? You just want to get lassoed.
The best thing about it was that they were clearly homemade
Oh, they were-
stickers from a Cricut machine,
Of
and they were
course.
just like you could see the shine of the sticker.
Just the
and,
shittiest.
and she like lifts up her arm, and he
Yeah.
shows it, and I was just
She's like
oh my God.
Roscoe and whatever all over her body, and he's got a Steve on his neck and a bunch of other shit.
Oh, that
And they're
was the
looking.
first
Oh my
time.
God, I was dying.
I know that was
like-
the first time I laughed out loud.
I mean, don't
Yeah.
don't get a lover's name tattooed on your body.
No.
My first husband said he was going to get my name tattooed on his arm, and I said I wouldn't. That was towards the end, and he didn't. Thank goodness. So now we see a lady called Diane Fanning, and she's a true crime author. She was handsome,
yeah.
but she was correct in her points.
She was, yeah.
Because right away she said about Carol O'Keefe, she said her picker was broken.
Yes.
And yes, it was. She also said she was drawn to the bad boys, and that would explain all the tattoos of Roscoe and such all over her arms.
I mean, I could relate.
but you know what? A sexy bad boy, sometimes that could be the first marriage.
I have a
or maybe the
broken
second,
picker
you know.
too. Yeah.
Like, we'll give her that.
Yeah.
So now, surprise, surprise, we see the real Carol. There is no murder in this one, but it comes real close.
It's bad.
It's bad. There's some lingering effects.
Oh, Carol.
She went through the ringer.
She did. What a
She's a survivor. She is a tough bird.
Yeah, so spoiler alert. The wife doesn't die, but
She doesn't
holy
die, but
shit.
she gets.
Yeah.
She goes through it.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle.
Yep.
A miracle. She
It's
is
a
still here.
miracle.
But the Carol herself says that she was real good at dating men, just not real good at marrying them. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. You know, that sometimes you just have to date someone and have maybe some more freedom between, and sometimes then the tying down of marriage between a couple, sometimes just something snaps or whatever, and there's too much either control or jealousy or whatever, and I don't know. But she knew she had an issue there. So Carol says herself, like, one day, though, she's working at her kick-ass new job, and this plastic surgeon gets transferred into their floor, and his name is Dr. John Christ, but it's spelled Christ.
Yeah.
Christ, will you look at the time? It's Dr. John. But why wouldn't Christ be like not spelled Christ?
Yeah.
C-R? Do you need the
Yeah.
H?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's Dr. Christ. Jesus Christ. So Dr. Christ is himself going through his third fucking divorce. So these two fools, they just are unlucky
Together,
in love.
they ain't good.
No. And Dr. Christ it said, is soon to be one of the most eligible bachelors in Houston. Now, I would disagree if the
How?
actual Dr. Christ looked like the actor.
I would too.
Because he was,
Uh-oh.
someone you'd walk past a few times.
Yeah.
But then when he said, I'm plastic surgeon, you might stop and say, But then when he says 3 ex-wives and kids, keep walking.
And then you actually see his face again. You're
And then you
like,
say, oh, no. So what Dr. Christ would do is when Carol was at her nursing station, he would come up and say things like, the Parisian restaurant down the street, it's $100 a plate. And Carol would go, that's expensive.
Wow.
Do you want to come join me? And she'd be like, no. And he was wearing like a space tie, like a big, wide space tie.
Yeah.
If someone just said a Parisian restaurant down the street is $100 a plate, I'd be like, what are you talking about? That's totally an appropriate way to ask me out. You don't tell me the
Right.
price.
Right.
And $100 a plate, that's just one bag of Target groceries.
That is.
But
Yeah.
it's 1989, I guess.
True.
I'd say, what do you mean? Oh, but she said no. But then he keeps kind of bugging her, and the other nurses are like,
And
come
then
on,
those dumbass
let's go out with him.
nurses.
Go
Yeah.
out." She's like, bitch, I've been married 5 times, and something about this guy is off. But she goes out to dinner. This is where Dr. John Jesus Christ on a cracker, Christ, wears a velour suit with a flowered pattern. If a man walked in wearing that suit that I was attending dinner with, a flowered pattern velour suit
In
with
Texas.
a hot pink ass shirt underneath.
This would have been,
I don't know what I would have said.
again, an about face and walk out the
Right.
door. But she sat with it. She seemed to like it.
Yep, she sat with him in his flowered velour suit.
This was my second laugh out loud.
Yes.
So first tattoo, second weird ass sport coat.
In the pink shirt.
Yeah.
So, but she said he was very knowledgeable and nice to talk to. Well, hopefully.
And she said we talked about philosophy. I'm like, fucking boring.
No, like what are you? I don't know.
No thanks.
Why? Yeah. Oh, anyway. So 3 weeks after this first date, she introduces him to her kids. And in that scene, he's still wearing the same flower ass coat and pink shirt. He didn't change at all.
For 3 weeks.
Now, she has a little daughter, Danny, and a son. And the real Carol says Danny doesn't even know her real father. So she was hoping that this flowered suit prick would step in.
Right.
So was Danny's father the 5th? Or
No.
or the 3rd?
No.
Like, I don't know.
Whoever he was, he got away scot free.
He went away
without his child or his wife.
Yeah, and took
And
off.
she
And
just
she
didn't
never
have
even
anything to
knew
do with
him or
But
met
it
him.
seemed like the boy's dad was still in the picture because they didn't say that about him. They were
Right.
like, "Oh, Danny really needed a dad because she didn't have one. Hers was took off."
Right. So did she not have any of these other stepdads ever stay around, like the boy's dad? I don't know. I didn't get it. I just moved on.
Yeah.
So anyway, that also reminded me when I went to get Rachel's passport, and it's only me
shit.
listed as
Yeah.
her parent, but I do know who her father is. But the passport lady thought I did not know who Rachel's father is because we didn't need to have him there. But the passport lady took it as I didn't know Rachel's father. Like I never knew who it was. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know who her father is.
Yeah.
And she announced very loudly to the whole line, "Ma'am, it's okay if you don't know who the father of your daughter is. We can still get her a passport."
Yeah.
I was
You're like,
Rachel
"Thank you."
laughed.
At that
Started
point,
laughing so hard because I was just totally humiliated.
at that point too, you're like, "Thank God," because I tried to take both my kids without my husband, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Sorry, ma'am, you
No,
can't
you
do
need
this
them. Yeah.
without him."
I could. though, because
Yeah,
it
you're
was
so
just
lucky.
me listed, but it looks like I don't know her father
You're in
is.
full custody.
Yes.
Yeah. Legal.
But I
and
literally had
physical.
my
Yeah.
my divorce
Divorce
papers
decree
in
that
my
said-
other hand, and I said, I actually was married to him. I know who he is. She didn't believe me or care at the time, and Rachel just still was dying laughing.
Well,
Oh my
I'm
God,
sure she
Mom.
was, yeah.
She said to the whole line that
You
you don't even know
whore.
who the father of your kid is.
I'm a bastard.
Oh, anyway, that's the same with Danny and Carol. We don't know. But then we get another scene that is fucked. So we're back in the hospital, and Carol's walking down the hallway, and she sees Dr. Christ in with a patient, and the patient is his ex-wife, and she has a broken nose.
And he's caressing her schnoz.
Yeah. And the rumor going around the hospital is that he broke her nose, giving her the old 1-4, the old slapperoo. And so he's getting a bad rep as being this really bad beating wife beater
'Cause he-
husband.
Was, yeah.
Yes. And so Carol, when he leaves the room after giving the old schnoz massage to his ex-wife, Carol says, "What is your ex-wife doing here? People said you hurt her." And then Dr. Christ goes, "I know." God, Carol! Just out of the blue. God, Carol!
I know people are saying that. Luckily, he fixed the nose that he broke.
Yeah.
And he made up a lie.
A real believable lie. He didn't punch the shit out of her. They were just arguing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started running at him with she was going to punch him in the face.
Right.
But she tripped and she fell against a high chair and broke her nose.
Yeah.
Because that happens. As you're running towards someone about ready to punch him in the face, you trip and fly into your high
Right. I mean, that probably would happen to one of us.
I'm
But
sure. So Carol, though, says, "Oh, no, she's lying. And she's making you look out to be this wife beater. And that bitch actually fell against a high chair."
But like what I wanted to say was this: none of this makes sense. She just got her fucking nose job. She's not dead or in a coma. She's gonna wake up from the surgery and say he fucking punched me in the face.
Of course. Yes. But then he's just going around saying she's lying to Carol and everyone he works with, and they believed him.
Stupid.
And then the narrator of the show, that's some weird guy, says pretty
That
much.
guy was weird
Yeah.
as fuck, wasn't he?
He says, "At this point, this dumb bitch Carol should have hit the road, but she doesn't."
But she was thinking about her next tattoo.
Yeah. So now we have a sex scene, of course.
Oh God, this was hideous.
They're on
this
their
was
sides.
cringe. This
It was terrible.
Cringe
'Cause
because
first-
she was
yes.
talking about it. The real her.
Oh, the real her is talking about it. The reenactors, first of all, is like a 30-something and then like a 60-something. The 60-something is wearing flannel boxers that are very unfortunate. And she's wearing a bra where I think the tit is about to pop
It
out
was,
any minute.
and it was literally it had to be a $5 bra. It
Yes.
was like Kmart, Walmart
terrible.
special on the sale rack, $3 for the set.
And he's rubbing his gunt on her back.
oh,
And this is where the real Carol gives a little bit too much
you
information.
guys, this was third laughing.
Yeah,
third
and she
laugh.
says, "John was a very good lover, Dr. Christ. He knew exactly what to do to make you feel
he
good.
took his time.
He took his time and knew where
And then
to
she would, like,
touch ya."
laugh.
Yeah, like that is, especially knowing what happened.
Yes. Like, how can you
That
even
is so gross.
smile and think about
No,
it? Ew.
I don't know.
I mean, good
This is where
God.
I then died, this next scene. So after their coitus or whatever, she's wrapped in the towel and goes into the bathroom.
God, yes.
And he's in like his scrubs or something. He makes her take off the towel so she's like naked, and he's looking at her and he goes like, "What is that?" And then she's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh my God, your breasts, the way they hang." Ugh. And then he's
part is so dumb.
he's like doing the Jim Carrey like side vomit.
He stole our line.
Yeah. He said they look like socks with rocks. Could you imagine if your husband says this to you or your boyfriend? They weren't even married. They look like elf shoes.
Socks with rocks.
They look like pool noodles. They look like you ironed some silly putty or shit in a water balloon. This woman, and she's like, well, my God, thanks. And then he says, but guess what? I just got in some triple K knockers in the old.
In Saline.
Yeah, I can give you some big horse biggins. And she's like, okay. So then he says, and then let's take off some of these fucking hideous tattoos. And he starts
Yes.
rubbing her arms, and she's like, oh, okay.
Like, thanks a lot.
So then the real Carol says he was always filled with suggestions how to make me more attractive. Oh my God! And it was always surgery. So then she's seen in a bed after surgery, and she's got big old cans,
Yes.
like monster cans.
Yes.
Big old watermelons. And then he comes in and she says, and then he would always give me these gifts after he would give me a surgery. And then they show her with their giant ass cans, and he comes and takes the shitty vase of flowers off the
Yeah.
bed table next to her and just puts it in her hand.
Yeah.
I would just put it back on the table, you dick. What am I supposed to do with my big ass cans? And I don't want flowers right now. Oh my God. Then Carol with her huge ass cans said, well, Dr. John Christ was a weird fucker too, because he would take 1 million showers a day. And what was he doing in there, jerking? Was he shitting?
Well, didn't she say, she was like, he had some weirdness, like
Yeah.
blah, 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 but he also showered a lot. Like, what did they say? I thought it was just because he was
A runner.
and so he would work out
But
and
was he, like,
sweat.
I mean, I feel like that because he was fucking everybody else,
Yeah.
too.
How many times a day was he running? Good
I
God.
know. But then they show the actor who is not a looker
No.
flexing in the mirror. She said Dr. Christ would flex in the mirror all the time.
Yes.
Well, if he had a muscle, maybe this actor did not have any muscle tone.
So when you are going out doing the casting process,
Yes.
right? And you're looking and you have a guy who's supposed to be this desirable doctor
Right.
who's a runner and who stares at himself, and there's going to be a scene where he's going to be in a towel flexing
Yes.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
That is the guy you choose?
No. That was poor
Because
choosing.
This was like my 900th laugh
Yeah.
out loud.
Mary,
I'm not
it was
kidding
Mary
you.
Ingalls casting
I
company.
laughed out loud.
Because it looks like...
And I am not body shaming.
No.
I'm just saying, like, why didn't they, if he was supposed to be a runner and stare at himself and be this narcissistic asshole about
Yeah.
his body, then good God,
they
get
picked the
someone with a
wrong.
muscle.
I know. So then they get married. So a year
Get
after
Phil
their
McDermott.
first... Yeah.
He just fits the...
I know.
to a
The
T.
person didn't have one muscle.
I laughed because I've seen that before.
They... Yes, you have. Seen it many times.
Ugh.
They marry a year after their first date, blending her 2 kids, and he has 3 kids.
Yes.
And Carol
And
at
her
first,
giant cans.
and her giant biggins.
erased tattoos.
Yeah. And she says her 6th marriage, she thinks, is off to a good start because he actually has a pretty good job compared to her other bad boy husbands that didn't really have jobs. But of course, everything goes to shit immediately. So this scene, I couldn't even believe. It's where she's sitting on the bed and she's in her scrubs. John comes in the bedroom and he's wrapped in a towel around his waist, and he just opens the towel and he just shoves his wang right in her face.
Yes.
And Carol rolls her eyes like, gross.
Like
if-
anyone would do.
If you're any wife or husband that has a husband and your husband has a towel around and they just come and shove their wang in your face, you just are like, yeah, and you roll your
No,
eyes because
thanks.
normally you're
Yeah.
doing something else, like the dishes or talking on the phone to your family members or on, let's say, a book club Zoom.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you get it weighing right in your face. And
no, thank you.
yeah, you say not
sir.
now, thanks.
No.
But he drops the towel and shoves his wang right in her eye. Carol rolls her eyes, and so then he slaps the shit out
Yeah.
of her. So that stunned me. He just holds back and just punches her right in the face.
Yeah.
And she's like, God damn it. And then it was so loud that the kids hear, like downstairs, and
Yeah.
the girl, Danny, says, Mommy, what's wrong? And Carol says this whole time, right after the wedding, that John keeps referring to Carol as his sexual servant.
Gross. This
Ish.
guy's a fuck.
So Carol, when she gets slapped in the face, says, John, you've got to stop this. And John says, what's your problem? You screwed almost everybody in town. I wouldn't be surprised if you already had a venereal disease.
Yes.
When you're already screwing her before, you would have had said
Yeah.
venereal disease already
Yeah, he was.
anyway.
Yep.
And what do you, what, and that,
What? I can't
so many
even.
problems. First off, Carol,
Yeah.
you don't just, no, Carol.
No.
Carol.
No.
Oh, so then we have a dinner scene where we see how he treats his own kids who get a treat dessert. Then he walks up to little Danny
Yes.
and he says, somebody got a B on their exam so they don't get no dessert. And Danny stands up and says, why? And he slaps her.
Oh
he
my God.
You little bitch, don't you talk back to me, and slaps the shit out of
He's
kid.
so slap happy.
If any man, any
No.
mom, you have some married ass that you're married to for like 2 weeks, goes and
Yep.
slaps your kid.
You gone.
Yes, I would. My God, I would just be beating
Yeah.
the shit out of that man,
Yep.
especially after you shoved your wang into my face
Yep.
and slapped me, and then said I have venereal disease, and gave me these big cans.
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And Carol just sat there in the chair as Danny was like, holy shit, what the hell? Oh, everyone just sat there. So now 3 months into the marriage, Carol's still trying to keep the marriage going. So there's been slapping and punching
Why?
of everybody. John decides to take just his 3 kids. This is 1991 Christmas, to his family in Boston or whatever. And he's going to leave Carol and her kids at home in Texas. And so he's all packed up with his suitcase and says, bye, bitch, I'm going to my family's Christmas. And Carol's like, for fuck's sake, we're not invited.
Yeah.
And he says, hell
We're
no.
your family.
And then Carol says, I'm going to get a divorce. And so John then grabs her, twists her around and puts her neck in like a headlock and says, I'll kill you if you
Yeah.
leave me. And she's like, what? What? First off, Carol, be happy you're not going to the family
Right.
Christmas.
Why did she even
This is a
want to?
blessing.
Yeah.
A blessing.
Right.
Second, the man is trash.
Yes.
But I guess if you're threatened and hit all the time, what the hell are
Yeah.
you going to do?
And you probably feel like once again,
Yeah, this is number 6.
I fucking did this again.
I fucked up
Yeah.
again. So now we get to May 9th, 1982, which is Mother's Day. And Carol is in bed. She wakes up expecting, as was planned, her whole family, her
something nice.
yeah, her dick husband and all the
Something
kids to
nice.
go to the beach because that's what she was thinking. But she wakes up and she sees her cunt husband packing some sort of a bag. And she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he says, I'm going to go take little whatever, Bindi, to the Indian princess ship for a Girl Scouts thing or something. And
Yeah,
she's like,
what was that?
Yeah.
What was he even talking
I don't
about?
know. She's like, well, what the hell? It's Mother's Day, and we had this whole planned day of going to the beach, and you're going on some Girl Scout overnight trip, whatever, on the ship with your daughter.
Right.
That's fucking weird. And then
Right.
she said, I'm done, John. I'm getting a goddamn divorce. And then she kind of gets out of bed, but her feet hit his bag and it falls on the floor off the foot of the bed. And John loses his goddamn mind. He yells, "You bitch!"
She said too, she's like, I did kick his bag off the. Didn't the real
Yes, the
Carol
real
say
Carol's
that?
like,
She's
I kicked his bag
it
off the bed.
He's a dick.
And he says, "You broke my camera, probably, bitch." And so for the punishment for probably breaking his shit ass camera, he reaches into the bedstand or bed table, grabs a fucking loaded gun, and just shoots her in the back of the head right then.
this.
Sir, that
Part-
is an overreaction to breaking your Kodak.
This came out. This came out of nowhere.
Nowhere. He just grabs into a drawer where there's a loaded gun. What was that doing there?
I don't know.
And shoots her in the back of the head as she's trying to get out of bed to just say, "What the hell?"
I went like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not that these things never happen in,
Yes.
as crimes of passion or whatever, but usually there's some devious plan, right? Like, I'm going to get her eventually, or like, I want to leave her. So
Yes.
the men, we talk about this, how dumb their fucking plans are all the time. This was literally, there was no plan. He just fucking
he
shot
lost
her.
it because
The
his
kids
bag
were in the-
fell.
yeah.
Everyone was in the house. His bag fell
Everyone
on the
was
floor,
there.
so he shoots his wife in the head.
He's going
You
to
are
the Girl
a psychotic
Scouts.
piece
Yeah.
of shit. How are you going to go? Yeah, how are you going to do your Girl Scout ship overnight now,
So
bitch?
that's the first thing that he does.
Yes. Well, first
Oh,
off,
wait,
yeah.
first he-
Carol's still with it.
Yeah.
Like she's aware this whole time.
Yes.
And they say it actually goes right through her brain and exit out her left eye,
Yes.
where hopefully he's never going to put his dick again.
No.
'Cause that's where the bullet came out. And this poor woman, she said she is trying to like figure out what the hell happened to her.
Yeah.
And is reaching around on the bed, and she just said chunks of blood are like falling out of her
Yeah,
head.
she said chunks.
like
of
chunk
matter
thicky. Oh
and
my God, this poor woman. Because it's probably her
Yeah.
eye.
Yes.
But she
Or
is
her
still
brain.
totally aware. I don't
Yeah.
understand how, like, this
Yeah.
woman is a
She
warrior.
is.
I don't know
She
how
is.
she did
Fucking
this.
warrior.
But so she's trying to like get herself together, I'm sure, to get out of there. But
Right.
she's thinking, what just happened? John thinks, I better make it look like suicide, as if someone shoots themselves right in the back,
In the back
of the
of the
head, through
head.
her eye.
Yeah.
So he tries to put the gun up to her head, but only ends up shooting off his own finger because he's such a dingle poop. And he goes, "That's my hand! That's my hand!" And he grabs his hand and blood squirting out. "That's my hand!"
This
He
part.
misses her head,
Yeah.
and it's right next to her head, and shoots off his own finger.
Yes.
What a dumb butthole. This dumb asshole is the worst.
Yes.
So then, of course, the kids come running because they hear gunshots going off in the bedroom. Little Danny comes in and says, "Mommy, are you okay?" And John goes,
No.
"Go watch the TV now. Go watch TV. Everything's fine in here. Let's
As
watch the TV."
Blood is squirting out of his finger,
She sees
and
everything. Her mom
she
is
has her brain
her
falling
eye
out of her
is
head.
out, and her brain is coming out of her eye, and she's scrambling around to try to get away. And
Oh, God.
John's finger is off and squirting blood. Go watch the TV now. Get
Oh, my God.
downstairs. Everything's nothing to see
How
here.
about like no, John?
Yeah. So then the first call he makes is to his ex-wife, Gay Christ. Hi, I'm Gay Christ, and I live in Houston, Texas. What's your name, ma'am? I said my name is Gay Christ. What? Gay Christ? Is this a joke? No, that's my name. So she answers the phone and goes, "Hello, it's Gay Christ." Howdy. And he says, "Holy shit, Gay Christ. I can't take little Alexandra or whatever to the Girl Scout Indian Princess weekend.
I just can't.
I can't." And Gay Christ goes, "Holy shit, why not?" And he says, because Carol and I just shot each other. Bye. That's exactly what he said.
He did.
Gay Christ was like, holy shit. Maybe I shouldn't have him go on the Girl Scout ship. Oh. Was Gay Christ the one that broke her nose?
I don't know. They
I
never
don't know.
said.
It's just so terrible. I'm laughing about this. Why are we? I don't know, because it's such a terrible story, and then this
my
woman
God.
pops up.
Poor Gay.
I
She
know.
had already gone through it with this
No,
fucking
well,
asshole.
yeah.
Plus, her name was Gay, and then Gay Christ.
Well, she shouldn't have had her daughter hanging around this dick who just
probably
shot up his home.
didn't have a choice because some dumbass
Well,
judge probably said,
He's her dad. He has to see her.
So then at least John calls 911 because he's concerned about his finger he blew off himself. And then he says, there's been an incident in my home. My wife and I had an argument and we done shot each other.
He says it again, and we
Yeah.
shot each other.
But, sir, you know that they're
She
going to
didn't
figure
do
out
any
all
shooting.
the
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and that you're just totally going to be caught.
Yeah.
Then we see poor Carol.
This is like a horror movie
Yes.
now at this
Who
point.
is now crawling on the kitchen floor. I don't know how she made it down the stairs into the kitchen. Hand on her eye, that is just blood pouring out of her eye. And she's...
Because she doesn't want her kid,
Yeah.
her kid to see her.
Well, and poor Danny is in
Yeah.
hysterics. The little girl Danny. So Carol's crawling across the kitchen. You know, and she can't walk because she's got the one eye and she can't balance, I'm sure. And her
I'm
brain,
sure her brain is injured.
and I cannot still believe she had the wherewithal. She tells Danny, start calling 911. And Danny says he already did. I can hear them. They're coming.
Yeah.
And like sits by her
Yes.
and tries to like calm her down. She was like then reaching for the phone like, I'm going to do it
Yeah.
myself if he
Yeah.
didn't. This woman shot in the head, made her way down the
Yes.
stairs to call. I can't believe
Yeah.
that she lived through that.
I know.
My God. And then stayed, could tell her daughter what she needed. And
Right.
my God. And then the poor Danny was together enough to keep her calm in the kitchen.
Finally,
Oh,
the paramedics
yeah.
come too, and Danny's like,
Yes.
you need to fix my mom. And
Right.
fucking John was like, my finger,
Yeah.
help me. And they're like, no, sir.
Yeah.
Your wife is shot in the fucking head.
Yeah, the detective was like, he's whining like a bitch in the
Yeah.
corner about his finger, and she clearly
Has no eye.
Yeah, has a head wound through her whole
Yeah.
head. Oh my God! And they probably know immediately the whole scene by looking at him.
Yeah.
Carol ends up in a coma for 4 weeks because of this.
And in the
which-
meantime, John's just living the high
he's on
life.
dates with other women. They
Yes.
show. Who? And he has only 9 fingers. He can't. His fingering game can't be as good. How does he explain that? I was talking to Gay Christ, and then I shot my other wife, but she's the only wife I slapped. God, who are these women?
Also, I'm missing a finger now.
Oh,
Ugh.
so after she has a month in the hospital in the coma and a dozen surgeries, her ass pulls it together,
She does.
gets to court because he gets arrested for attempted murder, and she is together with her eye patch, like what's his name from the book?
Oh, like Patch.
I know, like Patch.
Oh. That was his
I
name.
know. And she can remember everything,
Yeah.
like the details, and
Yeah.
testifies, and
She
is her
fucking
own
takes him
witness.
down.
Yes, and everything that happened and all the stuff that he did. So in 1993, he gets guilty for attempted murder and gets 20 years, probably because she was such a good, obviously,
Yeah.
witness describing the torture he put everyone through, and to his other wives and to the children.
And they did say he got out.
Yeah, in 2012. So that's, 19 years or whatever. So it was close. But he did lose his medical license.
And his finger.
So hopefully it's weighing, I'm sure.
Yeah, too bad he didn't shoot himself right there.
God. Idiot. What a horrible, horrible, horrible man.
The dumb assery.
I'm so glad
this
she
man.
lived. She had to deal with, obviously, the fallout of all these surgeries at the time.
And she came on the show and was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my story.
And she remembered all
Yeah.
these details. Like, she must have been totally
Even the disgusting
aware when you want
ones.
to pass out from pain. And she's like, great, I have to be totally lucid
Yeah.
during this whole situation.
Yeah.
But my God, I hope her daughter seems like a badass. So I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah. There's a book called Under the Knife
Oof.
by Karen Roebuck. Is that the lady who?
No, it was,
That was a different.
yeah, Diane Fanning.
Oh,
was the
Diane
one on the show.
Fanning. Yeah. So
Karen Roebuck.
That's one book that I found about this. You can get it on Amazon. Yeah, Under the Knife.
No, she was just she was very honest about herself and
Mhm.
the situation. And I mean, this is only was what 15-minute segment or whatever, barely
Yeah.
20 minutes. So she couldn't go into all, I'm sure, the torture he put her through and scared the shit out of her and her
Right.
kids. But shit, the poor woman.
Yeah.
I hope she found number 7.
Insane.
That was nice. Or
Or she was just like, fuck this. And
well, or she
poor,
got happy ever after.
poor Danny, her daughter.
I know.
Let's hope she got some help for the trauma.
I hope so. To see your mom like that must be
no
terrifying.
dad, shitty stepdad,
Yeah.
seeing your mom get shot.
Oh God.
No, poor Danny. Ugh.
Anyway, good
Anyway.
God.
Great. We do have a book club as well. We are reading His and Hers by Alice Feeney. Sarah and I both finished it, so we're ready to talk about it. We're going to meet on Zoom Tuesday, April 29th at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So get reading. You have about 3 weeks left. It was good. I liked it.
Talk about fucked up characters.
I woke up in the middle of the night going, I know who it is.
Were you right?
No,
I
was
wasn't
wrong.
either. I too. I was wrong every time I thought. Because
damn
it switches back and
I
back
know,
and back
yeah.
and back and back.
It
Yeah.
totally tricked me.
Yeah.
But yes, so again, His and Hers. You can get it on Kindle or order it on Amazon. It was good. And we also have some others coming up, The Space Between Them and The God
new
of the Woods.
Witchcraft of Witch House or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Grady Hendrix.
Grady Hendrix. When are we doing that one?
Brady.
Oh, God.
That one I don't in the summer, I think.
In the summer? Okay. Yeah. So read with us. Join our Facebook. Give us a rating review. Thanks for listening.
All right, bye.